Hey squirrel friends, I'm back with the second installment of my Rupaul Drag Race All-Stars inspired makeup look. So this time around, I'm gonna branch off, and my favorite look of the night was actually from Rupaul. Like, his runway was incredible. When I tell you he had this gorgeous like pink goddess look going on, like I was battling between some of the other girls that I wanted to recreate their looks, but I just kept going back to RuPaul. So what we're gonna do is recreate his pink goddess makeup look. So we're gonna zoom in as usual and get this party started. Okay, so I've already done my eyebrows off camera. I'm trying to still try out that new brow product. I'm gonna give it a little more time before I make a decision on whether or not I like it. So what we're gonna do is get started with priming our eyes, which you guys know is the same old, same old. I always start with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. So just basically put that all over the lid, and it makes a great base before you start any makeup look. Then I just dab it in with my fingers. So this episode was Snatch Game, which I have a love-hate relationship because there's a lot of times where there's a lot of the people that they recreate or like imitate that I don't know, but I think that there were like a half of the girls that did a good job and the other half of the girls did a terrible job. But I know Alaska did Mae West and she knocked it out of the park. It was incredible. So back to this eye look though. So what we're gonna do is, it was pretty much, as I was looking at the eye makeup, it was pretty much like pinks and whites, and then she had a black cat eye. So what we're gonna do is, for our transition shade, we're gonna go in, and I want to have a disclaimer, guys. This is my first time doing a cut crease, like, ever. Because I've always seen people do it, and I'm just like, I was always really nervous on doing it myself. So this is my first time ever doing a cut crease, so bear with me. I'm learning, you guys are learning, so we're gonna see how it turn out. First step, I'm gonna go in with my all-time favorite transition shade, which is Seduction by Morphe, and we're just gonna go in and lightly put that above the crease. So lightly, guys, just to give it a little bit of definition and give you kind of like a guideline. So you're trying to stay away from the lid area, and so just for a guideline, just enough to kind of just deepen up that area. We're going to go in on the other side. And I'm using the e.l.f. contour brush. It's kind of a small little fluffy brush to kind of, it like helps concentrate the shadow, you know, instead of my bigger Wet n Wild brushes that I use to blend out my transition shade. With this, you're trying to be a little more precise, so I'm trying to use this one because I know I can control the shadows a little bit more. Okay, so now that we have a little bit of kind of guide, we're going to go in with Cinnabar Rose by Coastal Scents, which is this gorgeous like pink, mauve pink color. And we're going to go in with my Wet n Wild blending brush and just lightly go right over that area that we put the transition shade on. And the good thing about cut creases is that you go back in later with concealer to kind of clean up the lines, because you guys know me, I'm not a perfectionist, and I don't try to be a perfectionist because life isn't perfect. So I kind of just like take my time, and then any errors that I make later, I'll just correct them later, because there's always a way to kind of fix your mistakes when it comes with makeup. And makeup is about expressing your art, you know, so I don't get wrapped up in trying to be perfect. So then we go on this side. Okay, so now that we have our general kind of guideline for our cut crease, we're going to go in with the Morphe MB27, which is this kind of like dense pointy brush, and it's really to help concentrate that area right above the crease so we'll know exactly where we want to carve it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with Deep Grape from Coastal Scents and just lightly tap it on the brush, and we're just gonna so where your eye makes the little crease area, we're gonna go right above that and kind of intensify the cut crease before we carve it out. So this part, I think this is the part that always like scares me when I see people doing their cut crease, because it's like this is what kind of makes you see the cut crease, you know. So we're just going to go in and intensify that. But back to the episode, guys. So we had a lot of the All-Stars were really trying to redeem themselves from when they did Snatch Game. So Fifi, when she did Lady Gaga in season 4, I think it was either season 4 or season 5, where she did Lady Gaga, she did like a terrible job. It was terrible. So she did Teresa Caputo, which is the Long Island medium, and she did a fairly good job. I did enjoy her Snatch Game. I thought it was really good, but Alaska knocked it out of the park. And then the person who came in second place was Katia, which I love Katia. She's really like a amazing spirit, you know, like not that I know her personally, but just from watching her I feel like she's like a really amazing spirit. She won second place, which I really like. I took notes and I thought that Alyssa's Joan Crawford should have had second place. I thought she was incredible. And then I feel like a lot of these girls are just skating on by. Like Ginger Minj has not like broken out to me this season yet. Like she's one of those people that is really funny, but I haven't really seen her shine yet. So it's kind of like I'm excited to see her break out of her shell. So this is the fun part / scary part that I'm like really, really nervous about. And this is the part where you carve pretty much the cut crease. So the idea is to get some concealer, which I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, and you just carve all, like pretty much clean up the edges. So like I said, guys, I'm not a perfectionist, so you know this is like the scariest part for me. So I got to make sure I get my mirror close up so I can make sure I'm not messing nothing up. So we just going to take a little bit of the concealer and pretty much put it on the back of your forehead like so, and then I'm using the concealer brush from Wet n Wild to help me carve out my cut crease. So pray for me, guys. This is my first time doing this by myself. Like, and the goal for real is to be patient. Don't try to rush it, because a lot of makeup videos are like 8 to 10 minutes, and in reality it doesn't take that short of amount of a time. Like makeup, most times the stuff that you guys see, we cut it down as much as we could possibly cut it down. So stuff like this, you have to pretty much take your time. And then also you'll see like there's some transfer, and that's okay, because we're gonna set the concealer, and then you can always go back over that area and touch it up. Okay, so now that we have the concealer, what we're gonna do is get some translucent powder, and just using like a fluffy brush, we're gonna go right over that concealer to kind of keep it from creasing. and keep it from transferring up on the lid like it did before. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little bit of transition powder on there. Then we're gonna go and do the other side. Okay, I will say the second eye was way easier than the first eye, I will say. So we're gonna go ahead and set that again. And I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is kind of like my go-to translucent powder. I'll just sweep that over there. And it kind of helps mattify that area as well. So now that we have the concealer, we're going to go back in and kind of fix some areas that I feel like the concealer transferred. So we're going to go back in with the pencil brush, which is the MB27 brush. We're just going to go, and you have to be careful because now we have the cut crease kind of etched out. So you don't want to mess up that concealer. So you have to really use a light hand. Because your ultimate goal is just to get that transfer off of there. And this is also where you can kind of like wing the cut crease. And so now that we have that kind of area carved out, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in with a smaller blending brush and go back in with the vibrant pink to kind of blend out the harshness of the grape color. Because yes, her makeup was pink, but I think the grape is deep enough to where it'll kind of give you like some depth. So we're just going to lightly go over, and be careful because you don't want to mess up that concealer that we worked so hard on. So just lightly blend that out. Just lightly. And just blend it out till you don't have any harsh lines. Okay, so we blended it out so we don't have any real harsh lines going on. And so what we're going to do is, because the concealer is like a more of a skin tone color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with, so since the concealer is kind of like a skin tone color, what I'm going to do is, a lot of times people will keep that area, that color, so it'll simulate like a gap in between, which you can do. It's really a personal preference. But I'm going to go in with the Ain't That Sweet smudge pot. I'm going to go right over where we put our concealer, just to kind of give it like a little bit of, ooh, iridescence. So I was not expecting it to be as bright as it was, but it's actually working out in our favor. So then you go over on the other side as well. I'm just using a random concealer brush that I acquired over the years. And to really seal the deal, I'm going to go in with Glam Life from Morphe and kind of go right over that area, that crease area, one more time. Okay. So really what makes a cut crease is that wing liner, which is I think where I was getting kind of confused when I first started to practice doing a cut crease. Like I never did the wing, so you kind of lose it. So we're gonna go in with, you can just use whatever black liner that you prefer, but this was the first one I had on hand, which is the LA Colors liquid eyeliner. So we're gonna just do our regular wing, and that's going to really deepen that cut crease. So we're just going to open it, and make sure you have a wand that you can control, because with wing liners it's easy to make a mistake, and with the cut crease you want your wing to be sharp enough to cut a bitch. I'm just saying. So get our mirror, because you can't do a wing liner without a mirror. Like I have a big mirror here, but this one is the one that gets the job done. So for the runway this week, they had to do latex glamour, which all of the women slayed the latex except for Fifi. I felt like Fifi's look was kind of just like basic compared to all the other queens. Like, I think that since she's left the show, her makeup skills have gotten incredible, but on the show she's just like, her makeup was really muddy, her nose contour was just terrible. It was really sad because I love her artistry, but I was like, girl, get it together. When I tell you, Fifi is killing the game. She is using mind tricks. When you know that you're not the strongest competitor, sometimes you have to make your other competitors feel like they're weaker. And she is working it from that angle. And when you're doing your wing, kind of outline the wing that you did with the eyeshadow. Okay, so we have one liner done. And I find doing a left wing is so much more difficult. Okay, so I will say that I'm loving how my first cut crease came out. You guys leave me comments below, let me know how you guys like the look. But I love it. It's really, I feel like this embodies what I saw when I saw Rupaul's makeup look. So once I do the rest of my face, you'll kind of get a real feel of how his makeup was. I thought that it was exquisite. He had this gorgeous pink hair, and I'll try to put a clip or something in here for you guys so y'all can see how bomb his runway look was. It was top notch. So we're going to do the rest of our face and our lashes off camera as usual, and then I'll check back in with you guys and give you my final notes about who got sent home, etc. Okay, girls, so can we just take a minute and just a moment of silence for that glow, though? Like, you guys know I can't go anywhere without my glow. So the last step of any makeup look is the lips. So RuPaul had these bubblegum pink lips, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Rimmel lip pencil in the color 005, and we're going to line our lips. Then we're going to go in with Vixen from Lorac, which is this beautiful matte bubblegum pink kind of color. I will say though, when you're using the Lorac or Lorac lipstick, make sure, guys, make sure that your lips are moisturized, because it will settle in every nook and cranny of your face. And so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with this King color lipstick or lip gloss. In the color 1606. I don't think it has like a name or anything. We're just going to put that in the middle. And ooh, girl, you looking like you about to go get you some bubble gum. Though these lips, you can't, not everybody can pull these off. When I tell you, ooh, that is like, you have to be in tune with your makeup goddess, because this is very extreme. But RuPaul's a drag queen, so of course he's gonna go all out. But I will say that I'm loving this. I'm proud of myself for my first ever cut crease. I'm excited that I get to share it with you guys. I'm gagging over this look though. I'm just loving everything about it. It's really like, ooh girl, where's she going kind of look, you know. And I will say that the two people who lip sync for their lives were Alaska and Katya, right? And you guys know I love Katya, but her lip sync was blah. And Alaska turned it out for that lip sync. And then they ended up sending my girl Tatiana home, and I'm so upset about it. Granted, her Ariana Grande was so bad. Like, it was so bad, guys. So I can't even be mad at them for sending her home. She was one of the ones, her and Roxy were one of the ones that I felt like deserved to go home that week. But I understood that they were going to send Tatiana home. But you never know, she might get to come back and plot her revenge. So Let's keep our fingers crossed. So guys, this is my RuPaul Drag Race All-Stars episode 2. Inspired makeup look, inspired by RuPaul herself. And I'm just loving this look, guys. Like, I'm loving it. And this glow, and you won't believe that this highlighter that I got on costs $3. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to be a glowing goddess. So I love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to my second. If y'all can hear my background, that's Royal, our dog, going crazy. Royal! Stop! Okay, thank you guys for tuning in to the second installment of my RuPaul Drag Race All-Star Season 2, Episode 2 Inspired Makeup Look. I'm just loving this look, guys. And I hope you guys love it as well. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye! I love crazy stuff like this. Like, I'm probably going to go and run errands and everything with my face beat like this. And I'm loving it.